Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Knessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 5th day of April in the year 2024. This is a day that I think most people are going to remember for a long time to come. And with us is Tony Mondaro. Tony, very strange morning, wasn't it, this morning, to hear about this quake. So what do you know about it?
Well, checking in with the USGS, that's where we get our earthquake information from. It was centered around Lebanon, New Jersey at 4.8 magnitude. Some people saying it was lasting here around 10 to 15 seconds. We got reports of shaking in around Tops Diner, Pearl Beach, Newark. We had the Kearney Fire Chief call in, telling us that he had some shaking from their fire headquarters, and also we had numerous reports of shaking in and around the borough of North Arlington. Matter of fact, they had a response to check out possibly a gas issue, which I believe wasn't associated with the quake at all, and that was off of Belleville Turnpike a short time ago. And as far as I know right now, everything under control. But we did hear from some people out west. Donna DeVita from White House Station reported she had things fall off of her dresser and pictures fall off the wall. Not too sure about structural damage yet. They'll probably have to assess that. We've also checked to see if there was going to be a tsunami generated with this quake, and the National Weather Service and the people who track that, the National Tsunami Center, say no, tsunami will not be generated from this quake. Probably more or less because it happened on land, so you're not going to get any tsunamis here.
Wow. Absolutely unbelievable. In the greater scheme of things, I honestly don't know if we've had a larger quake in our lifetimes, right? I mean, that was as big as, at 4.8, that was as big a quake as we probably had in a long time. I know that was maybe numerically higher, but centered further away. So when it gets this close, I don't know. It just seems like it's one of the bigger ones in a long time in this neck of the woods.
Well, in Virginia, they had a earthquake going back to 2011 that we felt up here, and at that time we got calls from the town of Harrison at the town hall there, and they had actually pictures falling off the wall there in the 2011 quake. We were down in Seaside Heights, New Jersey, on a very rare vacation, and my wife Janine says I feel shaking here at the pool. And I felt shaky too on the concrete, and I actually felt that quake. This one, I was in my office working diligently on my payroll here at the borough of North Arlington, and I didn't feel anything. So some people felt it, and some people didn't feel it.
Yeah.
So, we got kind of lucky here that there wasn't any more damage.
Well, right here in this particular office, which you've seen before, Lisa's up in the front, Michelle's in the back. Michelle saw her screen shaking pretty nastily, and Lisa didn't feel a thing. So that'll just give you an idea. Right in the same office, and we had two different reactions to this. But I guess that that kind of happens. I remember the one in 2011. I felt it, but a lot of people didn't. Just around the corner. So I always wondered how that happens. Do you have any idea why that happens? It's just bizarre, isn't it?
It is definitely crazy stuff, and no, I really don't have anything. I'm a weather expert, not an earthquake expert, and I think at this time we probably have to get an earthquake expert. And I can only imagine what some people felt, and I know right now New York Airport is still on the ground stop assessing the earthquake there.
I think that's something that they were talking about. I threw on some of the local television stations, and they were, Governor Hochul in New York, Murphy was saying they have to assess all of the bridges, they have to check the tunnels, they have to check high rises, because just because you don't see it doesn't mean there isn't some kind of structural damage somewhere. It could be something internal on a building's the way the building's put together. So even though it seems like we dodged a bullet here, it is still very much possible that something could still not be right. And I think that's important for people to realize right now, that we're not out of the water yet, or out of the woods, as the saying is, just yet. So we got to see what happens over the next couple of hours.
I would think too, Kevin, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some minor aftershocks after today into tonight.
Our old friend Walter Tomaszewski's here. He says in Easton, about 20 miles west of the epicenter, felt it and knew straight away what it was. I've been to California a few times, so you kind of, I guess if you've been to California, you've ever experienced a quake out there, you know when you're here, you're feeling one here. So how about that? That's something else.
Yeah, they felt it even out in Yankee Stadium, the Yankees home opener today.
Oh yes, or maybe that was just a sign of things to come for the Yankees. But we don't want to go. We don't need to get into that because the Mets didn't have a good start. Lisa asks, any prior warnings? I don't know. Does that happen? Are there? Does the Geological Society put out warnings of a possible quake?
Not that I know of, Kevin, but they do put out tsunami warnings. So after the quake, they try to measure waves going across oceans and things like that, and they'll put out tsunami warnings. And we did check, and there's no tsunami warning that's going to be in this part of the world. So we're lucky for that.
Of course, this comes just a couple of days after that terrible earthquake in Taiwan, where those buildings are on angles and just look like they're about to fall. I've never seen anything like that. Did you get a chance to see any of those videos at Taiwan, Tony?
We were working the storm over the last couple of days, which produced almost 4 inches of rain around here, 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. Now you have the earthquake, and then the big event now coming on Monday, which is going to be the solar eclipse. So we've had our plate full here at the Weather Center, tracking all kinds of stuff.
Really? So, well speaking of which, you said 4 inches of rain. Tell us what we've experienced.
Yeah, 3.57 inches of rain, so almost 4 inches of rain, and that's the 3-day total across in Harrison. There were winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour. I know there was some tree and wire damage around. There was some minor flooding again. The normal suspects, the Passaic Avenues of the world and stuff like that. Had some issues with poor drainage, flooding. It seems like anytime we do get any type of sizable rain now, some of these systems, the more flood-prone areas really have, water. And I would say to the people who watch us, if you're watching us live and recorded, just be very careful. When you're out there, remember where these flood-prone areas are if you're driving, and stay away from them if it's raining heavy. It's just common sense.
What about temperature-wise? Now, I heard this crazy rumor that next week we could see a 7 to start off the weather temperature. Is that a possibility in the long-range forecast, aside from the water?
Yeah, we've seen some, next week looks noticeably drier than this week. And also, it looks like we could see 70 degrees midweek next week, the day of the eclipse. We're going to start out mostly clear. It should be a nice sky. There'll be some clouds coming in around the eclipse, which happens here. I believe the peak intensity of the total coverage of the sun is approximately about between 3 and 3:30. And let me tell you, Kev, it's going to be one to see, because here we're going to see the sun obscured some 90 to 95%. So it'll get dark.
I think I was just about to ask you that. You said we could actually turn dark for a couple of minutes. Is that right? Yeah.
It'd be really cool, and I would think too, for just to be safe, take what the experts say and try to get yourself a pair of official glasses so nothing happens to your eyesight if you're looking directly at it for any length of time.
Do you have glasses, or are you getting them? What's Tony Mondaro do?
I have them from the last eclipse, so yeah, we're all set. I actually have an eclipse bin at the house that has all our eclipse stuff. And when I come on next Friday, I'll have my official eclipse T-shirt on.
And where will you be watching it? From the Weather Center? From the office?
Probably here from the office, join the crew here for this once-in-a-lifetime event. We're like a big family here, and I can't wait to share that with everybody, here at the squad. And I believe North Arlington's actually having a little eclipse gathering there down at Zadroga Field. I believe they're opening up around 2:30 for the borough residents and everybody to get together down at Zadroga Field to watch the eclipse together.
That's great. That is great. I like that there are some places that are doing this and making a community event out of it, something so cool like this. So that's really good news.
Yeah, leave it to Dan Fronte, our great mayor here in North Arlington. I almost said
Right.
Harris.
Yeah, it's a force of habit.
Give myself
Yeah.
in real trouble, of a really nice event. So it's really something to look forward to for the residents of North Arlington on Monday.
My friend Adam Ginsburg asked, "Is Davis Avenue finally getting paved?" Yes. I mean, that's just a simple answer. Yes, they start. I think you told me they started. I couldn't get through, so I wasn't sure if they were going to do it all in one day. But they just did the milling yesterday. Is that right?
Milling yesterday, and they're doing some improvements today. And from what Skip tells us, which is the head of one of the foremen at the Harrison Street Department, paving on Monday and Tuesday, and then during the course of the spring, they're going to be rebuilding the center island up real nice. They say it's going to be a little bit taller than the last time, and it's going to look really, really nice with all the stuff that they put in there, as far as the flowers and stuff like that. They really make Davis Avenue nice. So it's really going to be a nice payoff when it's all done.
It really is, and I'll tell you what. I spoke with Councilman Bennett yesterday, and I think he thought I was calling to bust him about it. I said, "Oh, thank you, God, for the Davis Avenue paving." He said, "Oh, God, everybody's been calling and complaining about it." I said, "No, I'm calling to say thank you, because we know that there was a lot of work being done over there, PSC&G, the buildings getting knocked down, things of that nature. And yes, the conditions were horrible. I don't know how you dealt with it on a daily basis, more than once a day. But thank God it's being done, because it was bad. I know on Fridays when the street cleaning, if I'm heading into Kearney, I would drive where the parking spots were, because the bumps were so bad sometimes, But it's getting done, and that is a big relief. Thank goodness.
Well, in one sense, Kevin, if you ever wanted to know what it was to travel the surface of the moon, all you had to do was drive down Davis Avenue, and you got to driving along the surface of the moon.
That's it. Oh, my goodness. That's now, Mayor Fife, if you happen to be watching, that's not a complaint. We know you had to do all this work, so we'll make sure he knows that, right?
Oh, absolutely, because now we have a new water line going in there, and with new gas lines and stuff like that, so... Oh yeah, absolutely. The improvements are awesome in the whole entire area. Kearney has done in the last couple of years with the paving projects all over town, which is really, really nice. So and North Arlington as well. All these towns do nice with the improvements every spring and summer. So it's something to look forward to.
Absolutely. And if you're just joining us, Tony Mondaro, the longtime director and founder of the Harrison Weather Center, is here with us. We were talking a little bit about the quake. We're talking a little bit about the weather this week and in the coming week. Now, are you back to a regular Saturday White Castle run? Or is that still...
Probably this Saturday it's on. I'll be mowing grass on Sunday. And Kev, I have to tell you this because I'm excited. And the quake trumped this whole thing. Seton Hall Pirates, baby.
NIT champions.
I got my Seton Hall garb on at 2:30 for those of you that have that's available to go up to the green. They're going to be doing a welcome home for the players there. And that's really, really nice to see Seton Hall Pirates. I believe the last time they won a national championship was the NIT back in the 50s. I think it was 1953, and it was really something. I go to a lot of these games with my brother Charlie and also with my daughter Teresa Rose. We really have a really good time, and it's really, really nice. And Kevin, have you ever gone to a Seton Hall Pirates game?
It's been a long time, but I did. In fact, when I went, Luther Wright was on the team, if you can imagine that. So we're talking like 1992, 93, around there. And It was a fun experience. I was a student at Seton Hall for one semester, and I did go, and I enjoyed it. Danny Hurley was actually on the team at the time, and now the coach of the Yukon Huskies. But great experience it was, indeed. And I know you have a great time when you go out to the Prudential Center. But these games weren't played there, right? They're all on the campus?
No, they used to be somewhere on Walsh Gym, and some other games were at the Continental Airlines Arena, which was originally the Brendan Burnham Arena out in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So they played also when the New Jersey Nets played out there, and that's kind of when we had the PJ Carlissimo days out in that area out there when he was the head coach. But Kev, you have to promise me next year I have tickets again. You have to come with me. It's an experience. It's beautiful.
I would absolutely love it.
Treat you to a nice dinner. You go up the escalator. The cheerleaders treat you. Sometimes the band is playing on the main concourse, and I have decent seats. So
I would love it, Tony.
That'll be an experience for you for next season.
Absolutely, I will. That is an absolute must-do. And as you mentioned this, one of my old friends from Canada is watching us, Ivan Anderson. So we have international viewership today. How about that, Tony? Ivan, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Ivan. And, folks, this is as good a time as any. If you haven't did it already, we really hope you would do this. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, for our podcast. It really helps us out. And also, on Facebook and Instagram and wherever else, YouTube.
Thank you.
It helps our algorithms and helps the viewership and helps the paper. The Observer has done a wonderful job for a very long time. I remember reading it as a kid every Thursday. That was my go-to paper, the Kearney Observer, for all our local news. And you guys have really done a great job, and I'm very happy to be a part of the family.
I am so grateful that you are. I really enjoy these times that we get to spend together. These natural conversations that, by the way, folks, we don't plan any of this. We just say, all right, let's go. By the way, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? All right, maybe we can talk about this. But we don't sit down, and we don't really plan much of this. So that's why I love it. It's just very organic, right, Tone? I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Where can you get Devils news, Mets news, Yankees news, play news on the Starmites, the upcoming Kearney Spring concert coming up, and also the Harrison Spring concert and art show.
Yep.
We'll all be covered here. This is what we do,
Well, Adam Ginsberg, the Ranger fan that he is, asks, are the Devils officially eliminated? The answer is no. They are 6 points out with 6 to go, but they're done. They're just a joke. It's been I don't even want to get started on that. I don't know if you had a chance to see any highlights, Tony. I know you're not a hockey fan, but in the Devils Rangers game Wednesday night, there was a 5-on-5 line brawl at the start of the game. All 5 players on each side fought each other. Now, this is the type of stuff you used to see in the 70s and the 80s quite a bit. The Broad Street Bullies, the Philadelphia Flyers. But this was crazy. This was just absolutely nuts. They all dropped their gloves and they were beating the crap out of each other. But the Devils, just horrible. Absolutely horrible year.
And Kevin, that's not the first time that's happened, right? That's happened the once before with Devil Rangers, right from the jump, right?
That's right.
If the ref drops the bucket, all of them were going at it.
Yeah, that was 2012, and that was around the same time of year too. They all went at it, and then the 2 coaches at the time, Peter DeBoer and the utter disgusting John Tortorella, were screaming at each other, and it looked like they were going to go at it. I can't stand John Tortorella. And then the same thing happened too with the 2 coaches yesterday, with Peter Laviolette and Travis Green. And Ivan brings up a good point here. There's this kid on the Rangers. It's called Matt Rempe. He is a thug. That's all he is. He is not a good hockey player. He doesn't know how to score. He doesn't know how to pass. He doesn't play good defense. He's weak offensively. And he's out there to cause trouble. And he gave a concussion to Jonas Siegenthaler of the Devils a couple of weeks ago. And this kind of player used to be what hockey was about, but it's not the case anymore. And Ranger fans love this guy. He's going to kill somebody. He's going to knock somebody out. He's going to really do some serious damage. He already did, giving a concussion to Siegenthaler. So that's who, if you see that name, Rempe needs to go, that's who he's talking about. And Adam Ginsberg, a Ranger fan, says, no, you're wrong about him, but no, we're not. This guy is a pathetic little thug who doesn't belong in the NHL. Tony's like, shut up. I don't want to talk about hockey.
Remember Dave Schultz from the Flyers?
There you go. He's Dave Schultz. That's what he is. He's just there to cause trouble. He brings nothing to the table. I'm going to get off the soapbox now because I did my anti-Ranger rant, and I feel good about it. How about that? You said stop whining because that's what it is.
And here's even better news, Kev. The Mets will at least be 1-161.
I was hoping. I don't get mad at me for this because you're a Mets fan. I was hoping they were going to get no hit yesterday because I think that would have been better material than 1-6 or 1-5.
Hey, I'll tell you, it's not some. It's not even it's not even May 1st. Jeff totally discussed it.
No,
I've been discussing it for 2 weeks.
They got through 7 innings without getting a hit, right? I don't know if you saw the second game yesterday, but I mean,
yep.
How pathetic is that? I mean, they are just. I mean, they thought they were going to get some kind of life out of them, but nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And I bet you our boss Lisa is smiling ear to ear on the way the Yankees are going. And I'll tell you something, they keep this up, they are World Series bound, ladies and gentlemen.
They're not only they're not just World Series bound. They're going to win the whole thing. I mean, they look unstoppable again. I know. Right in the beginning of the season, 7 games in. But I mean, when you get a chance to look at the way they've played, I mean, Juan Soto is just ridiculous. I mean, he is such a good athlete. I never realized what a beautiful swing he has too. So.
And everybody says he's going to go with the Mets. What says that? If the Yankees win the whole thing, they may stay over the Yankees. Do you want to go over to a team that's losing almost every?
Seriously, I mean, I don't know. They say, I don't know. I guess money does talk, and Cohen has more money, but I think he'd be a fool to come to Flushing right now. I don't know why any free agent would want to come here at this point, but who knows what's going to happen with that? Who knows what's going to happen with Pete Alonso, too? I mean, you're talking about him possibly going to Chicago. I just saw Baltimore this morning as a possible destination for him. One of the best homegrown talents in Mets history. And the discussion is whether he's going to even be here next year. I mean, that's what this is. This doesn't happen with the Yankees.
He's still upset over Showalter.
I am pissed at that too. I did not like that move. There was no need for that, and that was just David Stearns flexing his muscle, saying, this is my regime. This is what I'm going to do. Buck Showalter is one of the best managers ever to manage the game, and that makes me sick that he's gone, and that the only thing he's doing right now is on the Major League Baseball Network. He should be in a dugout right now, right, Tone? Or am I wrong? But be honest.
No, I think you're absolutely 1,000% right. I'm still sick over it. And, this David Stearns, what they make him out to be, he's won nothing. He really has won nothing. The Brewers ain't winning anything.
No, winning wild cards and getting swept in the playoffs every year is, to me, not successful. I don't know why Steve Cohen had this big boner for him. It was just ridiculous because that's basically what it was. He just couldn't wait to hire this guy. He waited years to hire him, and look at it. Like, he's just done nothing but tear things apart. So I'm getting a headache thinking about this. This is what it's like to be a Mets fan, though, right? I mean, this is it. This is the way it is every year.
Being a Mets fan is a good character builder.
If you're just joining us, Tony Mondaro's here with us. Tony, let's wrap it up a little bit. What do we expect this weekend? Can people hang outside a little bit this weekend, or should they be indoors? What's happening this weekend?
Well, right now, Kevin, we're at 46 degrees in the wonderful borough of North Arlington. We'll be in the low 50s this afternoon, but the wind's going to make it feel a heck of a lot chillier. Remember, folks, we had that earlier earthquake, so there could be a couple of aftershocks. Don't be surprised about that. So if you feel a little bit more shaking, later on in the day, it's possible. It should be a lot lighter than what we experienced this morning. The weekend weather-wise, still a chance of a shower, a very brief shower or sprinkle tonight into tomorrow morning, and also through the day tomorrow as we have a fist fight between the clouds and the sun going on. Highs tomorrow will be in the 50s too. We'll still have the wind Sunday and Monday. A lot drier. A lot more milder. We'll have temperatures near 60 on Sunday. Nice afternoon to cut that grass. And on Monday for Eclipse Day, look for a mostly sunny sky with high temperatures in the 60s. The totality for here will be around 320. Try to have some pretty nice glasses there. Remember, for the North Arlington residents, they have that nice little thing going on over at the Sadroga Field to look forward to, and that opens, the gates open there around 2:30. And like Kevin said earlier today, could see 70 degrees by middle of next week. Doesn't look like any crazy rainstorms next week, as we have mostly fair days and nights for right now. So updates, of course, will be on the Harrison Weather site, and for all your local news, go over to the Observer sites as well. They'll keep you updated, and also Kevin does a great job keeping us updated online almost any time with breaking news, such as today and like over the last week. So Kevin, good job with some of those stories you've been breaking.
Thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate it very much. Why don't you take us out?
Absolutely, folks. Have a great weekend. And for Kevin Canessa, this is Tony Mondaro from the Harrison Weather Center. Have a great weekend, everybody.